this what you making? I feel like a man's I can't see a way out. I've been stacking face down off canvases I painted. I just spent the rain day on drip I can't afford, but that's the price I pay for the memories I'm making. I've been going places, I've been shaking hands for a chance to really make it. This life is so abrasive, so I almost gave in. All this that I'm laying, it's only the foundation. I've been going crazy, just trying to find a way. I was in the basement, trying to turn the page. I was going through the phase, nobody see my face. I was chasing at the paper, been ordered for the waiters, but everything again, ain't nothing left to lose. I've been breaking rules, I've been making moves, with everything to prove. Now it's going how I see it through my lens, but it's stuck in my head. I can't seem to get away from it. I went out of my way.
What's up, Builders Club TV Nation? You got Dewan Jones here, your professional stay-at-home dad, and I am super excited, fired up once again. We got a phenomenal guest on the show tonight. This gentleman, man, if you're paying attention, you know what this gentleman is doing out there in this world that we call network marketing, work from home business, helping a lot of people just succeed and win big in this industry. And it's so fun to watch his career just blossom and also him help so many people. We got him on the show tonight. Jed Buenaluz is on the show tonight, family entrepreneur, business mentor, speaker. Let me get myself on camera so I can address the family and tell you, as always, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for sharing the platform, letting everybody know in this industry that we do have our own Tonight Show. This is the show that we bring the best of the best on, that we can learn from. We can hear the stories of success, so many jewels hidden in the stories of success as we're seeing, as we talk to so many phenomenal people. Let me get Jed on the camera, guys, so we can see if we got him. Jed, can you hear me okay? Awesome. Let me get you on camera as well, man, so that we can talk to you and you can talk to the family and we can see what's going on in your world, man. There you go, brother. What's going on?
What's going on, Dewan? How are you, bro?
Man, just fired up you on the show, man. I want to tell you formally, thank you for coming on to the Builders Club TV show.
Of course, it's an honor. It's an honor to be on the show. I know we've tried this before, right when the quarantine started, and yeah. I'm excited to be back. I know that the first one we had some technical difficulties, and so I'm excited to be on your show today.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's technology, family, is not always on our side. It's so important, though, as Jed has demonstrated, to be like a chameleon when you're an entrepreneur. Sometimes you got to go with the punches. Sometimes things don't always work out the way you intended, but you got to just go with the punches. Would you agree, man?
Absolutely, brother. A third time's a charm. Even last week we tried to do this.
Yeah, it's just they didn't want us to be great, man. But we said, you know what, we got a message that we got to give to the people, man. So whatever we got to do to make it happen, we're gonna make it happen. But thank you for fighting with us, man, through our technology mishaps and making this happen. I know the people are gonna enjoy it.
Absolutely. Well, first and foremost, man, I want to just thank you for having me on. It's an honor to be on the Builders Club TV show, and I'm excited to really give all of your viewers some value here today as they watch this on the replay. They watch this all around the globe, and so thanks for having me on, brother. I appreciate what you do for our profession. Thank you for lifting it up. Thank you for setting the standards, and I look forward to seeing this go viral and all of your interviews go viral all across the globe, especially for our industry.
Man, that means a lot coming from you, man, and I wish the same thing, because I know that this information getting out only means that so many people are going to get so much value, because it's not me, man, it's the people that we're bringing on like you, that have the experience, that have the success, that have the knowledge, that has the education for us, that we can go out and we can grab what you guys are giving us, and we can go and take this and apply it. So I'm just excited to be a vessel, brother.
Thank you, bro. Thank you. It's an honor.
Yeah, man. So, Jed, if you've seen the show, man, let's hop into it. If you've seen the show, you know that we have our Builders Club TV time machine. And this is where we throw our guests into this time machine that we have, and we take the family back, because we've learned through sitting down with so many phenomenal people in this industry. There's just so much you can learn or discover when you start digging into the past of successful people. Would you agree?
Absolutely. No, absolutely. We can learn a lot from people's mistakes, from people's failures, and we could learn a lot from history. So right. Absolutely.
Right. So, man, if we can, we like to dig in your past a little bit. Can you take us back and tell us, Jed, what was life for you, man, really before network marketing? What were you doing?
Wow. Well, I've been an entrepreneur now 14 years. I got involved in the industry, Duan, at 19 years young. And prior to that, I was working 3 jobs and going to school full time. I think you've heard this many times before. We were all taught to go to school, get that education, get that high-paying career. And so I started off on that path. And fortunately enough, my cousin, who was in the real estate industry at the time, invited me to take a look at the network marketing industry. And I remember working at my bank job, and it was around lunchtime. I got a call from my cousin, and really my invitation, the way I got invited to this profession, Duan, was a phone call from my cousin saying, "Hey, we're going to a meeting tonight. Don't sign up."
Right.
He said, "Leave your credit card at home." And at the time I was 19 years old and I was working for a bank. I was also in the real estate industry, and I was working for a major $1 billion company called Best Buy.
Oh man.
And I was going to school. I was going to night school full time. And so
right.
I was studying international business with an emphasis on marketing. And you know what? I remember getting that phone call. I didn't know what it was. And I was fortunate enough that my cousin opened the door for me to see a beautiful industry that, completely changed my life. And I do have to tell you, when I got involved in the industry, I was struggling. I was in a point in my life where I was just frustrated. I was working corporate America, going to school full time, and I knew I wanted more. I knew there was something else better out there. I knew that I had a purpose on my life to go impact people, and didn't know what it was. But when I saw this industry and I saw it, I said, this is the most incredible thing in the world. And I just remember seeing the presentation and the information the first time when I was 19 years old, bro. And I gotta tell you, I got excited. I got excited about my future. I got excited about the concept, the ability to build a network and travel and impact people and make a difference and doing all that, doing it in an incredible lifestyle. And so when I saw the vision of really awakening my dreams, I remember hearing the information, and the gentleman said, "Hey, if you knew you couldn't fail, how big would you dream? If money was not an issue in your life, what would you do? Where would you go? Who would you bless?"
Right.
And I remember, was he talking to me? Because there was a lot more people in that room, and I just felt like the speaker was talking to me.
Yeah.
And so that day, that evening changed my life. It changed the directory of what I wanted to do. And I said yes to my dreams at 19 years young. That was about 14 years ago, bro.
Wow. And so obviously you got started at some point, right? And you started your journey into this industry. Let's talk about the dark times, man. When you got started, usually that's at the beginning, right? So, what was this like when you got excited? You had your come to Jesus moment, right, in that room, in that presentation. But once it was time to sign on the dotted line and things got real, what was it like?
Well, my cousin was actually the one who opened the doors for me, and I realized that. People hear the information and some people say yes to the opportunity, or they say yes to the vehicle, the network marketing industry, and some say no. And at that time, it was just a wrong timing in my cousin's life, and he ended up not getting involved in that particular company. And I decided to say yes. And I do have to tell you, I couldn't sleep. I had network marketing insomnia.
Yeah.
I couldn't sleep. Nobody taught me to make a list. I went home that night and I started to think about all my friends and all my family members and everybody I knew that needed an opportunity, that needed more hope, that needed they needed to awaken in their dreams. And so I have to tell you, I had about 26 no's. it was no after no after no after no. had no idea what a system was, didn't know what the system was at all. I just was out there, ignorance on fire. I was excited. And then finally, after getting so many no's, I wasn't really discouraged, but I had to stop for a moment and call the speaker of the first presentation I went to. And I said, hey, people are telling me it's that's not going to work. And they were telling me all sorts of different things. And I remember this phone call. He goes, they don't understand. They don't get it. Just keep doing what you're doing. And he hangs up. And I said, okay, so let's continue, and long story short, I remember it took me 6 months, Dewan, to get my first check in network marketing. It took me 6 months. And
wow.
And my first check in the industry was $1.78.
Wow.
It was $1.78. And I remember it after 6 months, I was absolutely done with the industry. I was like, you know what, it's not for me, no results. First time in my career that I do something and really it was, I thought everybody was gonna join and there was no results after 6 months. And I said, you know what, I'm over this. And I remember after 6 months getting that check and—
You still have it? You still have the check?
I wish I had the check.
I would get that check like dipped in gold and iced out and wear it on a chain.
No, you know what? I think about that today. $1.78, and I'm so grateful for my mom.
Yeah. Because
she ordered our service. It was our product service at the time, and she ordered, and I got a check in the mail, and you know what? That check changed my life. It was $1.78, but I knew something special.
Residual.
What's that?
That was a residual check. $1.78.
No, it was a fast start.
Oh my God. $1.78. Okay.
It was mom ordering the service, and at the time it was a travel company, and she wanted to come down to San Diego and visit me, and I said, you know what, Mom? Let me book your flight. And I remember it was my first customer actually, and about a month later I get a check, but it took me 6 months, and I remember saying, it works. It works. And I was more excited about that check, Dewan, than my corporate job. Wow. I was more excited about that check than any check that I received in the past in a traditional job. And so because in my head it really opened my mind to going, you know what if it turns into $10.78? What if I put in a little bit more work,
right,
and I stayed consistent, and it turns into $100.78? And so, after 14 years now, it's been life-changing income. But when we talk about dark times and challenges and before the success, before the lifestyle, before the freedom, before all of the stuff that you would see on Instagram stories and lives and the social media aspect that first and foremost, I share with people, stop comparing your Instagram to people's fictional lives on Instagram. Everybody only shows their highlight reel on ESPN, on Instagram. And so, I've heard many times, my pastor has said, comparison is the thief of all joy. When you start to compare, you start to lose your purpose, you start to lose your focus, you start to lose your determination. And so I just do want to encourage every single one of you, just because somebody's posting on Instagram their success story or their social media, their lifestyle, it wasn't always like that. There was a point in my career, I would even say the first couple of years, I couldn't afford gas. And at the time, Dewan, we were doing, a lot of home meetings, going from, just 10 minutes away to somebody else's home. And there were times where I had to really go, you know what? How am I going to survive, this upcoming week or even tomorrow? And so, you get creative. You have, people in your organization and your team pick you up. You get creative and you do so many things. And I have to tell you, when I started in the industry, I was driving a 1987 van. 1987 van. The car was as old as me. and I have to say, I was so grateful for it. Looking back on it today, I was so grateful because every time I'm so grateful for my uncle who kind of donated that family van to me because I didn't have a car. I didn't have a car at 19 years old, to go purchase. So he just donated this 1987 van, and I'm super grateful for it because every time I looked at it, it made me want to work. It made me. I didn't look at the van. I looked at my future. I looked at what was possible, and it didn't have a CD player, so. I don't know if you remember, brother, but I don't know if our viewers will ever remember this, but there is something called a CD, like a CD player. It's like a small little boombox.
Oh yeah, I remember.
But you could put batteries in the back of it, right? It's like the batteries are like the size of this remote control, like they're huge.
Yeah.
And I couldn't get any radio going in that van, and I remember just getting access to the Jim Rohn CDs, getting access to different personal development CDs, and I would play it over and over and over on my ride, like just to get to my meeting, just to get to my A to B locations that I needed to go to, and it was seriously personal development on wheels without having a CD player. It was one of those small boom boxes, and so it was very humble beginnings, and I got a lot of no's. Many people said I was crazy. Many people said it wasn't going to work. Many people, called it it was called many different names behind my back. And obviously, it's people don't know what they don't know, and so I would encourage even all the viewers, don't take anything personal when they say negative things. I've realized now I was so grateful for all the negative things that was said to me, all of the haters or all the people that just talked about me. I was so super grateful because it really drove me. It pushed me to say, you know what? It's my dreams. God put this purpose in my life, and he put a seed of dreams into my life that I want to accomplish, and I found the vehicle for it. And so it really drove me to say, you know what? I deserve to be successful. I deserve to win. I deserve to be a champion in the network marketing industry. And so all of those negative, dark times was just nothing more than a seed of greatness that came out of me, because all of those things is now stories that can share around the globe.
Right.
And when team members are struggling or where they're going through some things, I could share some of these stories that I've experienced in my career, or even some of the mentors that I've had.
Right.
But I'm going to tell you, Dewan, I tried it all, brother.
Yeah.
I tried it from flyers to putting up bulletin things at the college. I don't know if you know, a piece of paper that you just put on and then you cut them out with little scissors and
tear the numbers off.
Make money from home. I've tried it and get my phone number.
Yeah.
I tried these in 2000, I believe 8. I was still going to college, 2008, and I remember seeing these real estate signs. These real estate signs, and I remember Googling it and saying, oh my gosh, I could purchase like 200 of them or 100 of them for like $200. They were signs that you could put on the grass. Mm-hmm. It's almost like the campaign for the Democrats or Republicans. They have these little signs that you could put on. And I remember seeing it at stop signs and stoplights, and I said, oh, you know what? What if I just put what if I created something for myself and put my phone number out and say, hey, work from home and earn XYZ. And I did that. I did that at 1 o'clock in the morning. I had a friend of mine. We started going to every stop sign, every corner of a street, and we started putting all of these small little signs. And I swear, within 24 hours, I get a phone call from the city.
Oh my God!
Saying, "Hey, you need to take your sign down."
Oh man!
And so we had to go backtrack for,
Ah.
I don't know how many hours to just take those signs out because it wasn't my property. It was the city property, and so you couldn't.
Ah. No
I've done
advertisement
flyers.
space.
I've done flyers, brother, where next to the church I attend, I think they got like an Albertsons, and so I remember, you know what better way to attract people than put a flyer. And I don't know if you know if anybody's ever done this and putting in the windshield, within about 10 minutes your fingers start to get has brownish, darkish, all sorts of things because you're touching the windshield, and the dirt from it, and within not even 2 hours, I get a phone call from the manager of that store next to the church, and they said, hey, if you don't pick up all your signs in our parking lot, we're gonna fine you. So I had to drive back to the church location I was that I attend and picked it up with one of my buddies, and so gone through all of it, and my success wasn't overnight. And you know what? I share with people all the time, don't be somebody who pursues success. What you do is you work on yourself. Jim Rohn talks about success is something you attract by the person you become. Too many people in the network marketing industry, they want to focus on success. But I've learned through my mentors, focus on becoming valuable and focus on becoming a better version of you. And you will start to attract the right leaders. You will start to attract quality leaders. You will start to attract, because so many of us in the very beginning, we're so excited. We get involved. We sign the application. We get our starter kit, whatever company you're in, and you go out and you start talking to everybody. And what you thought in your mind was going to be very easy starts to, with all these no's and people saying it's not going to work. And of course, there's some success stories out there where, they just absolutely win in their first, 30 days. They become an intergalactic, universal, superstar.
Right.
But majority of the success stories that you see, even on your show, I have a lot of friends that go on your show. They were not an overnight success.
Right.
They were night in, night out, every day being consistent. And one thing that I've realized around all these top income earners, they worked on themselves, brother. They worked on themselves. They worked on their craft. They worked on their internal side, the mental side, the emotional side, that game. They worked on that. And naturally, through time, they started attracting leaders. They started attracting groups. They started attracting groups in different countries.
Wow.
And I do have to say this. My mentor said this to me once. There are some people that get involved in network marketing and they are rewarded for what they did in the past before they joined network marketing. Meaning today, if you were a basketball coach for 15, 20 years, and then somehow you get involved in this beautiful industry, you have influence and you've built a community of people that do trust and respect and follow you. And because of what you've done in the past, somehow it just catapults you to becoming faster and with speed and more successful faster than the masses because of what you've done. Or you look at a pastor, or you look at somebody who's got high level influence. And so, but not everyone's like that. And that's why we believe in personal development, growing as a person, and plug it into, Builder Club TV and other personal development shows that you can grow as a person. So
wow. That validates basically what you're saying, is that working on yourself and, building your influence, which gives you credibility, which gives you the power to recommend and lead once you have that credibility and influence. And that comes from working on yourself to the point where the value you're giving, people want to pay attention to. So that is totally, you just took me to church, just took us to church, man. But let me ask you this, because, in this industry, you're going to hear a lot of leaders say that, because that's absolutely what they had to do, like you said, to climb to the level that they've been able to get to. But as a person who's going through the process, sometimes it's hard to receive and accept that. You're like, because again, you mentioned you seeing all the success on Instagram. Everybody's posting, hey, I just got this new Bentley that nobody in the world has but me, and I paid $1 million for it, and my life is amazing. And you just looking at them like, man, when is it going to happen for me? And then you have leaders saying you got to go through the process, right? So I think it's easier to accept if we get some real life examples of what we're fighting for. You say, you look on Instagram, you don't know what's real, what's fake, who's really making it happen, who's really not. Everybody's posting their highlight reel, right? But can you give us some real life examples as far as your lifestyle, how it's changed because of this industry, to remind the folks that are watching, that are going through the process, what they're actually fighting for in terms of the freedom that this industry or just being successful can give you?
Right. No, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, first and foremost, I do have to share this. The results are real. Some of my friends that have been on your show, actually, a lot of them that have been on your show are winning and they're crushing you.
Right.
And their results are real. I know them. I know a lot of these people personally, and they are just doing amazing in their business life, in their spiritual life, in their relationship life. And so they're doing amazing. And so, but in real life experience through the journey and the process, what I had to keep in mind was the future. And what really, I think anybody that's ever tuned into any personal development show or been trained in a network marketing profession, everybody talks about the why. Some call it the desire or the dream or the goal. But usually in network marketing, we talk about the why, the reasons why you should do the business. What are the reasons? And there's a cliche saying, if the why doesn't make you try, it's not good enough. And I just remember hearing that over and over and over. And in the dark times, and when you're going through the process, you really got to focus in on the future. You got to focus in on the future, because the future is a very powerful thing, is what Jim Rohn says. And you got to figure out why you're doing it. What's the reason? Like, what do you really, really, really want? It's a question I was asked many times, and I do this many times with people. I ask them, what do you really, really, really want? Like, what do you really, really, really want? What is your why? And so I've heard this said many times, but I've also heard it said 7 times. 7, meaning I'm going to ask any of your viewers who are going to watch this, I'm going to ask them, what do they want? Why do they want it? And what are they going to do to go get it? So I'm going to ask it once, and then I'm going to ask it again. What do they want? Why do they want it? What do they? And you know what happens, Dewan? The first answer is the surface level answer. It's always, I want to have a nice car. I want to do this. I want to help people. And then you ask the same question again, literally 2 minutes later, or 1 minute later, it's a different answer. Then you ask the same question. You ask it again, and you ask it again 7 times. And you're really going to the root, to 7 levels, 7 layers of questions. You're going to the real reason why they're getting started. And a lot of the times it's because they want significance in their lives, or they really they want to feel special or important, or they want to feel loved, or something's missing. And you go down to the core, at the root level of why they want to build something special. And once you have that, then magic happens. Because it has nothing to do now of the money. It's not. The money's important, obviously. We all want it, Jim Rohn says, "I'll cash the check." Right. But it's the root. It's what's going to drive you. It's what's going to drive you. And I know this is a dramatic answer, or a dramatic. I'm going to share something very dramatic. Somebody said to me, years ago at a training, they said, "Hey, Jed, if there was $1 million in your house, and your house was on fire, would you go in and get the $1 million?" And you would kind of hesitate. And then they said, "Hey, if your kid was in there, or if your mom was in there, your grandmother was in there, would you go in?" And
absolutely,
I wouldn't think twice.
Right.
It wouldn't be, should I do it or not? I would just go in and wake them up and carry them. And so your why's got to drive you so to the point where you're consumed, you're obsessed. And most successful people, they'll never say this, but they're consumed and they're obsessed of making their reasons a reality, and making their dreams a reality. You look at Elon Musk, you look at Jeff Bezos, you look at some of these wealthy, known people in the world. They're obsessed, and your obsession becomes your possession in life.
Yeah. Jed Buenaluz family, man, we could pick your brain for hours. Such an amazing conversation. Will you give out your website or social media or anything that you have?
Yeah, you know what? It's on Instagram. I'm usually just on Instagram majority of the time. It's Mr. So MR, and then International. So it's a funny name that was given to me years ago by my best friend Alistair. He's like, we should call you Mr. International.
Hey.
And you know, words become your world.
Right.
Words become your world, and he started calling me this, introducing me, because he's like, I'm not gonna introduce you by your rank, because when people know your rank, people gonna know you ain't making any money. so we're just gonna call you Mr. International. Right. And at the time, I remember having like 2 people on my team in Asia, and he's like, hey, you have an international team. So just Mr. International, or they can find me as Jed Buenaluz, JEDBUENALUZ, Jed Buenaluz, on Instagram or on Facebook.
Amazing. You know, before we let you go, we do want to play a game with you, man, that we play with our guests. Family loves it. We get so much value from it. We call it a word of advice with a mentor. And the way that it works, man, is that we're going to shoot a few words at you, and you're going to give us back a word of advice based on that word, or based around that word. So are you ready to play, man? I got the first word for you. It's confidence.
Confidence. You know, for me, confidence comes from my creator. Confidence comes from the source of knowing who is really in control, and it's a higher power. And so I borrow confidence from my faith in my spiritual life. Confidence also comes from doing. The more you do it, the better you get. And so confidence for me, confidence comes from a higher power. So, and it comes from practice.
Love it. Borrow confidence. I hope you guys caught that. The next word is dare.
Dare. Oh, that's powerful. Dare. I dare you. I dare you to dream big. I dare you to call people on your list. I dare you to do a presentation. I dare you to follow up. I dare you to fail. I dare you to get uncomfortable.
Love it. The next word is vision.
You know, a man with no vision, you know, it's an old proverb. It's in the Old Testament. A man or woman with no vision usually will perish. Vision comes from, I was just listening to something yesterday, Miles Monroe. He was talking about vision is related to discipline. Without discipline, there is no vision. And so without vision, there is no discipline. And so you got to have vision in your life to get you to the next level. And so I pray for vision in everyone's life. And I pray you know what your vision is. And I pray that you expand your vision and get around people that have more vision, that have big vision, that makes your vision stretch.
One of my favorite words. The next word, gratitude.
Every day. It's gratitude opens the doors to abundance. Gratitude opens the door to prosperity. Gratitude opens the door to peace. Gratitude opens the door for serenity. Gratitude opens the door to the law of attraction.
Amazing. The very last word that we have for you, man, and I think this is probably one of the most important words for an entrepreneur, patience.
You know, in Corinthians, it talks about love is patient, love is kind. You know, my mentor Tom taught me, he says, you got to have infinite patience for the right person that comes through your group, that comes through your contact list. You got to have infinite patience for the right person. patience is something that we all have to work on.
Yeah.
Especially when you get to having a little bit of success.
Love it, man. You absolutely crushed it. We knew you would. Man, we got to have you back. You got so much, so much knowledge we got to pull from your mind, man. Will you come back, man? Will you come back and not be a stranger, brother? Will you come back and talk to us again?
Duan, it would be an honor, brother. This is one of the first times I decided to say yes to an interview. And I do want to tell all your fans and the community, you just getting to know you as a person, bro. I love your vision. I love what you're going to do with this show. I love what you're going to do with the Builders Club TV. I can see 5-10 years into the future of how you're going to be so blessed, and you're really raising the value for all of us to have a platform to be known in the industry. And we appreciate you, and we love you, man. And your personality, just who you are as a person, I can see why people want to be on your show. You're so down to earth, and you really are adding value to the network marketing profession. And so I know that what you're doing right now is you're gonna laugh about it in 10 years, 5 years, because the vision I know you have is so big and it's so powerful that so many of us in the industry want to just ride with you and support you. So we love you, man, and we thank you for what you're doing for the profession.
Hey, man, I love you guys. Thank you for your support and being a part. Man, don't make me cry on my show, man. Don't do that. There you have it, family. We're going to see Jed Buenaluz back to talk with us. We'll see you next time. Peace.
In our business, it's all about influence. If you have no influence, nobody wants to listen to you. And if you can get people to listen, you can allow them to learn. And so our product in this business, it's not the product of the company. It doesn't matter if they're selling a service or a nutritional supplement of some sort, credit service, legal service, phone service, Forex service, whatever service it is. That's not your product. That's the company's product. Your product, my product, is people.
We are responsible. Like, listen, most people don't look at those terms and conditions, Duan. They don't look at the terms and conditions, right? It says independent distributor. It doesn't say dependent. It says independent distributor. I don't care what company that somebody's in that's looking at this. It says independent distributor.
I know what that's like. Yeah. You know what I mean? I know what it's like to hide shut-off notices from your children. I know what that's like. I know what it's like to sell chicken sandwiches. And I mean, if it wasn't nailed down, I would sell it, right? Yeah. I know what that's like. Yeah. And I just kept saying, there's got to be a better way. I know, I saw that. I was like, I love this guy.
And yeah. I was just basically saying, it's a copy and paste type of society, a type of world that we're creating where everything's about copy and paste. And I think we're losing touch with reality. And we know that the biggest lessons and secrets to success are hidden in the pain.